Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back for some more Pokemon Showdown. Now, today, I have an incredible battle for you. So, this battle actually took place during me just laddering on Showdown off screen. I believe this battle actually took place in the 1400s. Yeah, after the battle, I tweeted out my my rating, and I was actually 14-15 on the ladder, so that's actually amazing. This battle was against a really competitive opponent. Of course, you can see by his name, he is an LT8 player, so I honestly did not think I was gonna do very good. You know, this was the first battle using a brand new team that got passed to me, and so I really didn't know what to expect. But this battle, definitely, it was hands down, I think, one of the best OU battles I have ever had. Highly competitive, highly intense, and just really fun at some points just to battle. So I'm here to showcase this match to you guys. You've probably seen me ranting about it on Twitter, just saying how amazing it was, but that is actually really cool. So it was a really close match, insanely fun, and, yeah, so if you could already tell, this video is not exactly your traditional, post commentary, as the Pokemon sprites aren't actually moving. I have reason for this. So basically, you know, at the time that I had this amazing battle, I was like, you know what, I have got to share this replay. I've got to do a freaking post commentary on it, but sadly at the time I was recording this, Pokemon Showdown's replay servers were actually down due to a DDoS attack. So me being the crafty person I am, I decided to go ahead and do a workaround. So basically this is a recording. I'm basically narrating a recording of the instant replay. The room ended up expiring, so even when the servers were back up, I couldn't share the replay. So I photoshopped the resume button onto the screen. I recorded the instant replay with Camtasia, and I'm just here to present the battle. I mean, just because the sprites aren't moving, I don't feel as if that should take away from the quality of the match. So either way, guys, this is gonna be a little bit weird because the sprites won't actually be moving, but we'll make it through it. So basically, this match was against me and an LT8 player. You know, my team consisted of Metagross, Ferrothorn, Lando, Manaphy, Latias, and Heatran. A couple of these Pokemon actually had some really interesting sets. For instance, Landorus was actually more of a bulky variant with leftovers, whereas Heatran was actually Scarf Heatran, so that is really cool. I guess the purpose of that is to just, I don't know, catch certain things on switch-ins or whatnot, but anyways, so yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get right into this. So basically, he leads off with Medicham, I lead off with Latias, and basically, I figure, you know, this would be a great time to go ahead and scout out for what this Medicham might be running. I doubt that he would actually go for an Ice Punch right on the Latias right off the bat, even though he would have the opportunity to fake out or whatever. So, right off the bat, I pull a double straight into Landorus, being able to lower his attack, as he actually goes straight into Clefable. Now, here I know I don't have the greatest of matchups, so, you know, I actually click U-turn as he actually pulls a double on me. His man brings in Torn, so I U-turn out right on the Tornadus, and I actually bring in Heatran because I know it's Scarf, I know I'll be able to outspeed it. I just kind of want to gauge this Tornadus and see what kind of set it is running, and I assumed that Rotom Wash was a physically defensive pivot, so I figured, you know, Overheat should still do a chunk even if he wants to go Rotom, but anyways, so here, as you can see, I go straight for the Overheat. It does a good chunk to Tornadus, but nothing really insane, so that actually shows me that it is Assault Vest. And right off the bat, I do get my special attack lowered as he clicks Knockoff, revealing that I am a Scarfer, which also reveals that Landorus is, you know, there's like a 95% chance that it's not my Scarfer, so he clicks Knockoff, my choice Scarf pretty much goes, and so I know it's time to get up out of here. So I switch out Heatran, I bring in my Ferrothorn, predicting the U-turn. It was the obvious play. There is no way this man was gonna click Heat Wave on a Heatran and boost my special attack after he had just dropped it, or I had just dropped it. So he U-turns out, he does take some damage, but it doesn't really matter because of his Regenerator ability. He U-turns out and actually goes straight into Medicham, and so I know that, you know, I know that an HJK will kill me. I really do. But I honestly, like, I brought in Landorus on this Medicham the very first time, and I really expected him to just click Ice Punch on my Ferrothorn, predicting the Landorus, since there's really no way that I can OHKO this Medicham. So this man actually really surprises me. I guess I kind of made a bad play here. I stand with my Ferrothorn, I click Leech Seed, predicting the Medicham to go Mega and Ice Punch, as he goes Mega and drops an HJK. I also kind of figured, you know, if he did in fact have HJK, there is a good chance that he will miss it, but sadly, he actually went for it, going completely against my prediction, and he did land it, going completely against my luck, so Ferrothorn actually dies. He does take a good chunk of damage, though, from Iron Barb, so it is what it is. I did chip. Now, I bring in my Landorus, because I know that I am a little bit of a bulkier variant, and after getting the Intimidate off on this Medicham, also seeing how he didn't go straight for the Ice Punch on my Ferrothorn, I actually, at this time, I wasn't too sure if he was carrying Ice Punch, and so I figured this would be a fantastic way to gauge it. I bring in Landorus as he goes straight for the Zen Headbutt, proving to me he does not have Ice Punch, and look at the way I take that. That is a pure power Medicham, of course, with a little bit of an attack drop, but it's all good. So, he goes for the Zen Headbutt. Here, I click EQ, doing quite a bit of damage to Medicham. I do get some lefty health back, as he decides to go straight into Rotom Wash, as I double right into Manaphy, predicting the Rotom Wash to come in. Because, you know, Medicham's too good of a Pokemon to just let go, and, assuming I was gonna go for the Earthquake, I mean, I guess he was under the assumption that I just assumed that he knew I wasn't Scarf, so in retrospect, maybe it wasn't the greatest idea for him to go Rotom, but anyways, he does bring it in. I do predict it, because I figure, well, the way he's been playing does kind of hint at the fact that maybe he didn't notice that my Heatran was Scarf, maybe he didn't assume that my Landorus wasn't Scarf, maybe he didn't even see me get leftovers, I don't know. Either way, I go for the risky play, and bring in the Manaphy, predicting the Rotom, as he does actually do it, so it does pay off. And here I figure, well, I actually outspeed the Rotom, so this would be a great time to go ahead and gauge as to what this Rotom may be carrying, what its set is. So I click Energy Ball, and it actually does do a chunk to him, revealing that it is actually physically defensive, as I think I predicted that earlier on in the video. I think I might have said that. But anyways, I click Energy Ball. It does do a chunk as he clicks Volt Switch. I am a little bit of a bulkier variant of Manaphy, so I am able to take that pretty well. It just does right under half. So he Volt Switches out, goes straight into Weavile, which I know is probably not the greatest thing for me, considering I'm not looking to take a knockoff. So I bring out Manaphy. I should go straight into Landorus. Is a little bit of a risky play, I know, but here I'm actually able to lower Weavile's, you know, attack as he clicks knockoff. It's only going to be getting rid of my leftovers. That's not that big of a deal, and I consider you know, me bringing in Landorus against this Weavile is gonna bring some mind games to the field. So basically knocks off my lefties, and I'm like, all right, so there's no way this guy is not going for an ice type attack. Here I switch right into my Heatran as he clicks Icicle Crash, and right now I'm just kind of assuming that he's not carrying low kick. Basically looking at his team, looking at the way he's been playing, and kind of using his Weavile so far, kind of hints at the fact that it's not really carrying low kick. So I safely bring in my Heatran on the Icicle Crash as he actually switches out, goes into Torn as I actually click Flash Cannon. This actually just reassures me even more that he does not have low kick, so I know that, you know, if it comes down to it, Heatran will be able to beat Weavile versus 1v1. So I click Flash Cannon, and he actually clicks U-Turn, U-turning out of my Heatran, bringing in his Hippowdon, and Flash Cannon is going to do a chunk to it, so pretty happy about that. Here I go ahead and go into Latios, predicting the EQ as he actually does go for it, so I'm able to bring in Latios on the freaking, Hippowdon, so that's amazing. Here I click Psyshock, does a chunk. I'm just looking to do chip as he gets up rocks. This Latios isn't actually running defog, so I really didn't think he was gonna try and get up hazards, because most Latioses actually do carry defog, so I was like, maybe he won't even try to go for hazards, maybe he won't see the point in it, but lo and behold, he actually does get his rocks up, and he ends up switching out, bringing in Clefable, which is actually really bad for me, because I clicked Draco, and I knew this was kind of an iffy play, but it is what it is. He outplayed me there. He brings in Clefable. He read me like a fiddle, you could say, so I clicked Draco. Of course, Clefable is immune. I'm going to take some sand damage here. I end up going straight for the Psyshock, because I figure, you know, I don't really want anything else taking unnecessary damage, so I go for the Psyshock. It does pay off. I happen to get a critical hit, bringing the Clefable down to 36, as the Clefable actually just goes straight for the T-Wave, surprisingly. So, Sandstorm goes away. He does get some leftovers health as I just switch out here and go into Metagross, because I assume if anything is going to click Moonblast, and I should be able to take it. So, he actually goes straight for the Soft Boil, which I was not expecting, but it is what it is. Here, he switches out and goes straight into Rotom as I go Mega, because I'm like, alright, there is nothing on this guy's team that will hinder my Metagross's attack, besides maybe Rotom. So, basically, I go straight for the Meteor Mash. I'm able to bring it down to 17, but here's where things actually get a little bit iffy. So basically, it doesn't actually kill, and you know, I'm like, okay, so basically the only way I'm gonna kill this Rotom is if I can land my Zen Headbutt. I think it's a risk that I need to take. I can't afford switching into Heatran, because then I'm gonna take unnecessary rocks damage. Although he will be boosting my special attack, he will actually outspeed me the next turn, then I won't have anything for Weavile versus 1v1, so I figured this is the only way out. I click Zen Headbutt. Fortunately, I do land it. I'm able to knock out Rotom here as he brings in his Hippowdon. And this was a little bit iffy. I did not know, in fact, I did not actually calc this, which is a mistake on my part, but it does actually end up paying off in the end. I click Ice Punch, I get a crit, I actually do knock it out. In fact, I actually think I wouldn't have knocked it out if it wasn't for that crit, but whatever, we get rid of the Hippowdon. I'm getting a little bit lucky. In fact, he brings in his Tornadus, and I already know that a Heat Wave is coming my way, so I figure I can take it. I stay on it, I click Ice Punch, I'm actually able to knock out the Tornadus, so look at that. Metagross, Mega Metagross, just on its own, just cleared 3 of the Pokemon on his team. He brings in a Weavile against my Metagross, and I'm just like, alright, I'm gonna take a little bit of a risky play. We do know that he is packing the, Ice type moves, and every single time this Weavile has been in, I brought in my Landorus. He could very well outplay me here, but you know, I figured if worse comes to worse, he clicks the Ice type move, Landorus goes down. I just bring in Manaphy and hope for the best, or bring in Latias, hope for the best. We know he doesn't have low kick, so I could essentially just bring in Heatran, although I don't. It would really just depend on rolls whether or not I'd be able to beat the Weavile 1v1, so I figure it's a little bit of a risky play. Again, he does in fact have a little bit of a better team in my opinion, just, you know, coverage wise and stuff against my team, so I figure, you know, it's what I gotta do, so I bring in Landorus on the Weavile. I get the Intimidate as this man clicks Knockoff. Since he already got rid of my leftovers earlier, I'm actually able to live the hit. And at this point, I'm assuming this man knows that I am not Scarf, because, you know, he clicked Knockoff, nothing was there. There is no way that Landorus is going to make this out alive, so I don't even try to predict, don't even try to do anything. I just stay in it, let him go straight for the Knockoff. As Landorus does go down, he is going to take some sand damage. Here, I go straight into Latias. Now, what I was trying to do, what I was trying to accomplish, I was hoping that after getting the attack drop, I would be able to live a knockoff, and I'm actually running Healing Wish on my Latias, so I figured, you know, I could click Healing Wish, go into Heatran, as it's able to beat Weavile, it's able to beat Clefable, and then Metagross could just outspeed Medicham and win us the game. So here, I actually try to get off my Healing Wish, but lo and behold, he clicks Knockoff. It still does enough damage, even after the attack drop, to knock out my Latias. So it is what it is. He knocks off the Life Orb, actually ends up taking out my Latias, as I'm pretty much forced to go into Manaphy. So I bring in Manaphy, and I figure, alright, there's no way this guy is staying in. So basically, he goes right into his Clefable. I stay in and go for the Surf. I guess in retrospect, I could have gone for the Tail Glow. I just wanted to do anything I could have done to a switch in. I didn't want this, because I didn't know for a fact if a Tail Glow Surf would be able to actually knock off the Clefable, or knock out the Clefable like Oko it, so I was like, you know, I just gotta do some chip, I just gotta get this Clefable ready, because it's pretty obvious it's gonna be coming in. He brings in his Clefable, I get some Lefty's health, he gets some Lefty's health, and I click Tail Glow, and this is where the match goes down a little bit south for me. I click Tail Glow as he actually goes straight for the T-Wave. I did not think he would be carrying T-Wave. I thought he would be carrying the standard Flamethrower, Moonblast, Calm Mind, and whatever the fourth move is, but I was like, this Clefable really isn't a threat to me. But as he clicked to Thunder Wave, I realized, oh shit, like, this is not good. So I am paralyzed. He gets Lefty's health back, I get Lefty's health back, I click Surf, he goes for the Moonblast, I survive on 27, but get paralyzed. And it gets a little bit better for me at this point in the match. You know, when I'm not recording, I was raging pretty hard, because I did not know how I was going to be able to take on this Clefable. Considering Medicham easily switches in on a Metagross's Meteor Mash, and if I got out predicted and he clicked Flamethrower, it was pretty much over for me. So I figured, you know, I had already lost this game. I was even contemplating at this point to forfeit, but lo and behold, he goes for the Moonblast. I live on 1%, break through the paralysis, and Oko the Clefable with the Surf, and he brings in his Medicham, clicking Fake Out. Manaphy does go down, as I'm forced to bring in my Metagross, and the match is really coming down to the wire. I bring in Metagross, I know that I'll be able to outspeed it, no matter what, and I can even take a bullet punch while we're at it. So I go straight for the meteor mash, knowing that's going to be able to knock it out, and that I might potentially get an attack boost. He goes Weavile, and we know he doesn't have low kick, so I just stay in. He goes for the knockoff, gets a crit, which I don't even think mattered. Either way, he knocks out my Metagross, and pretty much my only play is to bring in Heatran, and since we know it doesn't have low kick, I actually am able to beat it 1v1, so basically he clicks knockoff, I'm able to take it. This match really just comes down to, can I land an overheat? I know optionally I could have gone for the flash cannon, but you know, it was heat of the moment. I just thought, you know, overheat, why not? Super effective. I wasn't really thinking straight, but either way we do land it. We're actually able to knock out the Weavile, and that is actually the game. I do take a special attack drop, and I do end up winning the battle, so that was the game. It was really intense, really close. I made tons of risky plays, staying in on a Metacham, which didn't really pay off, bringing in Landorus on Weavile, which did pay off, and just, you know, this match was great. I broke through paralysis right when I needed it. I got a couple crits here and there when I needed it. This match really just was really good. In fact, if I didn't get any of those haxes, I didn't get any crits, I don't think I would have been able to beat this guy, because he has a little bit of a better team in my opinion. He is an LT8 player, so he probably would have been able to outplay me a lot better. But anyways, that is the match, guys. That is one of my, I don't know, most favorite matches. I don't know why I like this match so much, but it was great. I did end up winning, which actually boosted me up to 14-15 on the ladder, so that is amazing. This is the match that you guys have been hearing about. Again, sorry about the sprites not moving. This isn't actually a traditional replay. I'm just kind of using a bootleg Camtasia workaround. In fact, I'm recording this video in Camtasia video editor, so yeah, it's whatever. I'm just clicking the play button and stuff to pause the clip. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the game. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to take it easy, you guys.